time to go all the way back, Emma, to 2001 when the ABC was reporting on a newfangled thing called a 3G network. Let's take a look.
When 3G starts, telecommunications in Australia will be turned upside down. It'll mean wireless devices like mobile phones and personal organisers can be used to access the internet and email. Telcos had until today to signal their intention to bid for the spectrum.
And that was the voice of Lee Sales reporting. I feel like we should have Lisa Miller here today. They should be quite excited, just in case you recognise that voice. Well, 23 years on, and Telstra and Optus are following Vodafone's move and, of course, closing their 3G network. So what should Australians who still have 3G devices be doing? Louise Hyland heads up the telcos industry body, and she joins us now from Sydney. Good morning.
Good morning, James.
Roughly how many people are still relying on 3G?
Well, as you mentioned, the 3G network is shutting down to make way for faster and more efficient 4G and 5G networks. There's still some time to go, only 5 weeks to go until that occurs. And so we're urging Australians to act now and don't delay. And they can easily use an SMS checker to check whether or not they need to upgrade their device. And what's really important is that there are certain 4G devices that will not be able to make an emergency call. So we're urging Australians to please check whether or not they need to upgrade their devices.
Just on that though, I mean, people have had a number of years now to get ready for this. Are we talking about tens of thousands of Australians who might be relying purely on a 3G device or an old 4G that can't call 000?
Look, there were hundreds of thousands only a few months ago, and we're encouraged by the reduction in numbers, but as reported just a couple of days ago, there's still about 65,000 devices out there. And, you know, whether it's your device that you use every day or the one that you've got in the drawer for an emergency, we're urging Australians to please check your device, and it's really simple to do so. Simply text 3 to the number 3498, and that will indicate whether or not your device will work on 4G and 5G after the 3G network shut down.
So once the 3G network is shut down, occasionally I've got a relatively new phone, occasionally it'll bump onto 3G if I'm in a remote part of the country. The idea, as you mentioned, is to boost 4G and 5G. How long will that take for those signals to get better?
Well, each of the carriers have, Optus and Telstra closing those networks, have committed to providing equivalent 4G and in some cases 5G coverage. So that will be, you know, an equivalent coverage in those areas.
Should it happen immediately, or is this something that might take a couple of months to transition through?
It's really important that customers have a continuity of service, and so there will be an equivalent coverage.